Mike Breen, ESPN ABC, play-by-play voice, and, of course, play-by-play voice for the Knicks as well. Breeny, thanks for joining us. How would you sum up the NBA Finals?
You know what, Dano? I think it was satisfying to watch a team like this that had been through, especially the two players you're talking about, had been through, the highs and certainly the lows, to be able to finally get it together and have a season the way they finished up. I mean, those two guys, they're wonderful young men. They're terrific players, and they sacrificed to get what everybody wanted them to get and what they wanted more than anything. So it was satisfying to see these two guys figure it out and finally get the job done.
I'm not sure if it was an exhale, Mike, it was a celebration, but also just more of a, God, thank God we got an NBA title. Did you get any sense of that during the finals or certainly last night? Was it relief or was it celebration?
No, it was definitely celebration, jubilation, all those words, ecstasy. It's my favorite part every year is to see the joy in the faces of these guys. They become little kids, and they'll wait a couple of days before somebody starts to say, "Well, can they win two in a row?" So they can enjoy it at least for now. But it was absolutely a celebration. Their one goal from the start of the season. They really didn't care who did the scoring. They really didn't care who won the conference finals MVP or finals MVP. They just wanted to get a ring, and it was a great group that was put together. The additions helped. But those two who, they understand the pressure of playing in that city for those fans, to be able to come through like that was really nice to see.
And I know that Jaylen Brown wins the MVP, and I think, like Jason Tatum played like Jason Tatum's supposed to play, felt like Jaylen Brown played a little bit better than what we thought. Therefore, it felt like we were equating that with more valuable to the team. How do you differentiate or validate who's the MVP?
To me, it's not even just the two of them. This team is the epitome of five guys, and you add a couple of the extras too in terms of the supporting cast. Just all season long, they played for each other. All season long, it was about sacrifice. All season long, they didn't care who was getting the accolades, and it seemed every night. There were three or four of the players who seemed to do something special, not necessarily score 25 to 30, but have three steals or get a big block at the most critical moment. And that's what was so special about the team. You could, after every playoff game, it was like, all right, who do we talk about? Because we can talk about six different guys who contributed. And that's, for me, that's basketball at its finest.
We're talking to Mike Breen of the Mothership on the call last night. There was a play in the second quarter where Kyrie kind of tumbled near you guys, and then you admonished, a fan said something to Kyrie. What did you see and hear?
Well, he came crashing in. First off, he just completely barreled over our statistician, Dave Freed, and when he bounced off him, and he was on his back, and there's like a two-tier area behind our table, and he was having trouble get up. It's so tight right there, and he couldn't get up, and we're trying to help him up, and he was at such an angle we couldn't get up, and then all of a sudden, I didn't hear the specific words, but somebody yelled something disparaging to him, and as he's getting up, he stopped and he looked back at the person, and he's like, "Really?" He didn't use those words. And he said, "What's wrong with you?" And it just it was so distasteful. Here's the guy. He could be really hurt. He's trying to get up, and that's what somebody takes the opportunity to say. The fans there, by the way, are fantastic. It's one of my favorite arenas, and the fans are a big part of it. But, there's always somebody that's willing to do something like that.
What's the loudest stadium that you've ever been in?
Chicago, the old Chicago Stadium. By far. There's been some great ones. Madison Square Garden is unbelievable in big moments. I think Oracle Arena, when the Warriors played in Oakland, unbelievable. The Barco Arena in Sacramento, the OKC Arena, has gone through various name changes, but Chicago Stadium was the most incredible noise I've ever heard. You could be sitting next to me and screaming at me, and I had no idea what you're saying when it was loud like that. So that's number one for me.
Is J.J. Redick still on the payroll at ESPN?
Well, we're trying to confirm that right now. So to answer your question, I say no. Like I said, I've become like, those coaches that have coaching trees. I'm the broadcaster who now has coaching trees.
It's not you, Mike. Okay, it's not you. I don't want you to feel like that they're leaving because of you. They're going to someplace. They're not leaving someplace.
Well, there's some doubt to that. I've gotten some dirty looks from my partners over the years, and they're leaving at a pretty rapid pace lately. So I'm going to hold off on that.
Okay, but downtime, when you go to dinner with J.J. Redick, can you bring up the Lakers job? Have you brought up the Lakers job?
Yes. Just to ask him what's going on. What can he tell us? I've done that over the years.
Wait, so what's going on? What can you tell us? Is he taking the Lakers job,
what's
Mike?
Going on? To be determined. He hasn't been offered the Lakers job yet.
Do you think he'll be your broadcast partner? Are you planning on JJ being your broadcast partner next year?
Yes.
That was a pause. That was a nice pause.
What are you doing to me? I'm tired. I stayed out.
You're right. My bad.
Until 4 o'clock. You're doing this to me? Shame on you, Dan Patrick.
Wait, did you go out and party last night?
Well, we had our celebratory post-finals dinner, of course.
Okay, dinner at midnight?
No, it was more like 1 o'clock by the time we got there.
All right. Well, I'll take it easy on you till you get some more rest. And then I'll ask you, JJ's taking the Lakers job. Hey, thanks for joining us.
Well, if I hear anything, I'll call you back.
I'm sure you will.
If I hear anything, I'll call you back.
You know what? Just text me, bang, bang, and then I'll know.
That's a deal, Dan.
Thank you, Breen. Great job.
Okay.
Mike Breen. Hey, come on. Yes.
A great run he's having.
Came on the show. I got to ask you. You want soft questions? There's other shows you can go on.
Here.
Yeah. All right. Said he hadn't been offered the job yet. Like, what are you doing to me? Just asking you some tough questions.